Go ahead.
With all due respect,
I'm just, given the gravity of what he said, what was your understanding of what he meant when he said, this civilization is going to be eliminated?
I think it was a very, very strong threat from the President of the United States that led the Iranian regime to cave to their knees and ask for a ceasefire and agree to reopening the Strait of Hormuz. So it was a very strong threat that led to results. It was not an empty threat by any means. The Pentagon had a target list that they were ready to hit go on at 8 p.m. last night if the Iranian regime had not agreed to open the strait, which they did, and I think that's something we should all be grateful for.
So if you watched part one, I broke down the basics of what a frame is and how it works when it comes to communication or interaction with another human being. And in a nutshell, when two people come together, their frames collide. And when that happens, there's something called a battle for frame control. Because at the end of the day, when two people are interacting, only one frame can exist. For example, if I initiate a conversation with someone and say, "How are you?" and they answer the question by saying, "Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?" I set the frame and they accepted it, and now we're operating on my terms. But if I asked them, "How are you?" and they responded with, "Well, hold on a minute. What's the intention of our conversation here?" And then I were to respond with, "I don't know. What should our intention be?" All of a sudden, my frame disappeared and their frame became the dominant one. I had to abandon my intention of figuring out how they're doing to accept their frame of what's the intention of the conversation. This isn't something to judge as good or bad. This is just something to be mindful of. It's communication dynamics. The person who controls the frame controls the conversation. And if you pay attention, the reporters are asking questions about Trump's actions. That's the frame the questions are being set around. The press secretary does not want to engage in questions about his actions because that is outside of her frame. Her frame are the results that the actions are leading to, which is why so many of you are saying, "Well, she's not answering the question." Well, it's not that she's not answering the questions, it's that she's trying to gain control of the frame. She is the press secretary. Her job is to press a narrative. Just like a reporter, their job is to gather information and frame it in a certain way to drive a narrative. This is a battle of frames. Sure, it's important. Pay attention to the content within those frames. Absolutely. But also begin asking yourself, what frame am I being asked to accept by paying attention to what's being said? And am I willing to abandon my frame to accept someone else's?